that either way, that doesn't matter. I don't have the right shoes on, so sorry. Okay. Don't be mad at me. These shoes are so comfortable, but they're not that supportive. Anyhow, so we went into the story where I go, do you know? I just figured, let me just say it, because the kids were just walking into the class and sitting down. And I said, do you think you know? Or no, we were leaving for the day. That's right. We were leaving for the day. And I pushed the button off because I didn't want her to look at it anymore. And I mean, she really shouldn't have been. Anyhow, she goes, yeah, I think they're walking around and they're at like this carnival so they can get like hot dogs or chicken, and they can get all different kinds of food, ice cream. And I go, what do you mean a carnival? And like I had the chills when she said that, because that psychic Undisputed Truth came up with a carnival card in one of her readings for them. So, long story short, she just said, yeah, that, they're also looking for water, something to drink, because they're thirsty. So they're walking over to like a pond or an ocean. And I was like, really? And she goes, yeah, and they could see animals, and there's also some rides, birds and stuff like that. And I was like flipping out. I was like, really? She was like so graphic, saying all this stuff. And I go, are they with anybody? She goes, no, they're just by themselves, walking around. I go, well, you know that they're 3 and 4. She goes, yeah, they're by themselves. So when she said by themselves, I'm thinking that they passed over to the other side. Anyhow, so then I'm at the bus stop. The kids are being picked up. And I didn't tell you this part. So that little girl left. And she's always so lovely. I like your earrings. I like your necklace. Why do you have this? Why do you have that? I showed the kids my books that I wrote, and how do you write the book? How do you get this done? And how do you draw? Just like beautiful questions from beautiful soul. And then I'm standing with this little boy and waiting for like his car to come. So I said, I should compare this. So I said to him, I showed him, I think my phone. I showed him my phone. I go, you see these 2 boys? And he goes, yeah. And I go, well, they're missing in California. And he goes, oh. And I go, do you think you know where they are? He goes, no. I don't know. And he looks at them again. He goes, I don't know. And I was like, see, that's the difference. That is the difference. Because that girl, she reminded me of me. I mean, I wasn't even I was strong with palmistry at that age, but every once in a while I would say, I have a bad feeling about this or that. Like I knew my mother was going to get hurt really bad and leave us. And I just used to try to always be with her. And sure enough, one night she didn't come home from the movies with my aunt because my father thought she had a boyfriend and followed her around the Allstate building and hit her with a baseball bat. She could have been dead. But I was praying so hard that day. It was such a horrible day. And my 2 other sisters were with me. And, we got beatings with belts. And I just had such a foreboding. And then my mother didn't come home from Brooklyn for 2 weeks because she was in the hospital. My father went to jail. And my point being, not to, bring up the worst day in my life, but my mother survived. I remember what happened was she saw him coming after her when she got out of my aunt's car. So she went to run, and he had a bat, and he was getting drunk all day, waiting for her to get home. He had already beat us up, and we ran away. We jumped out the window and ran to the only thing that was open was the laundromat. So thank God for the laundromat. So I don't know why I'm telling you this story, but anyway, I just kept praying, and I heard, I was 7, and I heard a message that must have been my mother's prayer. I don't know why. I didn't understand what was happening, why I was getting a message that was in my mother's voice. And she said to God, please let me live at least to get all of my kids out of high school. So she died when I was 19 and in my second year of college. So I guess God kept that promise with her. I'm the youngest of 6. So we were all out of high school, and me and my sister Susan were in college. And she died of cancer. But anyhow, she dropped her pocketbook and went to get it, but then saw a shadow of my father with the bat. And if she would have bent down fully and got her pocketbook, she would have been dead. So that's why, when I hear these cases, and I try to work on these cases of domestic violence and all the crazy things, of parents being killed by the other spouse. I have a piece of my heart in that life. And thank God, my mother ended up living. My father went to jail for just like a week, I think. 2, I don't really know. Nobody told you anything back then, 70s. But anyhow, we're survivors, right? And we have to help others. Things might be painful, but people have it a lot worse than I ever had it. Namaste, everybody.